right? 1,000+% growth in certain categories. And then second, you kind of talked about weaving in order online, pick up at store. And maybe, Michelle, this is particularly relevant for you. Broadly speaking, kind of one looks at continuing high growth rates in digital, and people expect that continues growing at several X what physical does. You have both your omni-channel, your multi-platform. How do you balance the two?
It's a great question. And, short answer is it's still evolving. And I think we're still trying to figure it out. I can say for sure that the store experience feels to me more important than ever. And it just feels like it's changed a lot, but it isn't less important. It hasn't diminished as far as I can tell. It seems like it's more important than ever. And I think a few things, at least I can speak to from our business, are what feel really relevant to that. With everything having become so digital, that human touch and the relationship, it is more special now than it used to be. And especially, I don't know how much of that is related to everyone having been a little bit more separate, or a lot more separate from some of the human relationships that they hold dear. But I definitely think that, right now it feels really strong that, the human experience that one can get in a store that is an advantage for physical retail is really important to customers and really, coming across pretty strong. I think also it's just the role of a store has become more hybrid than anything else. And it's not, just one or two new things. I think that, in terms of the work that we ask our wonderful associates to do, it used to be a little bit more one dimensional. You had to run a tight process to run a store and be engaging and be able to sell and know the product. But now it is, it's still all of those things, but you have to, of course, we're concerned with safety, and safety has to be top of mind, a whole set of new procedures that our stores have to work with and employ and use. Definitely fulfillment. We're much more distributed in terms of our fulfillment than we were 12 months ago, and so much of that is out of necessity and trying to use our inventory more efficiently. And then I also think that stores may still have the advantage, at least for a little while longer, on the instant gratification. Of course, every business is now having to figure out how quickly and how much they want to invest in the delivery and kind of last, end of the fulfillment part of the experience for customers. But of course, most of us have not gotten to same day delivery, and nor is it the right move for most of us to get to same day delivery. And so in that case, when a customer needs some of that instant gratification, a store is still really her best bet.
How much of the how much interplay do you actually see? Like, if you kind of think about overall transactions, right? How much of it do you see order and pick up online, or how much of the returns, for example, people walk into a store and exchange something?
Tons. So it's interesting though. We thought, of course, when everything was shut down last year, we worked really hard to get a curbside pickup experience rolled out. That lasted for maybe 2 weeks when stores reopened. We still offer it, but nobody really wanted it. What we found is that, we'd invested all that time in building a curbside pickup experience. And what everyone wanted when we reopened was to just be able to call the store or maybe do a, BOPIS, a buy online pickup in store type order. But they weren't, it was only a very short window that they were truly doing curbside. They often wanted to, call someone, speak to them, have some of that personal shopping. They did, we certainly have added a lot of new features to be able to serve some of the needs that the customer did express. So one example of that is that, our customers wanted to know, if I'm going to get in the car and drive to a store, especially back in the, late summer, fall, we're not seeing this quite as strong right now, but certainly, at the end of last year, it was kind of this sense of, if I'm going to get in the car and drive to the store, they better have my, top in the right color and the right size that I want. So we were seeing the experience be that they would, use the calls, they would call us to find that out. And of course, we then spent time building in the, the features so that the person can check their local store inventory on their website. Of course, the hardware home improvement stores have been way ahead of us on that. It never seemed quite as important for lifestyle apparel until last year, but now it is. And we see that customers are using that, and they come in to the store very well researched and very motivated. So I think that, has a lot of potential upside as well. We're not so much lamenting the reduction in traffic to stores, but we're now thinking about, if everyone's coming in pretty motivated and well researched, how high can we get, how high can we get conversion? And, the business dynamics there can be great.
Do you feel like you're going to add stores?
We will eventually. I do think so. Down the road, we've certainly taken a well-warranted pause, for the past year. Some of the plans that we had beginning of last year, we did, put the pause button on, and, I think that was the right move at that time. But no, like I said, I feel very excited about the future of stores. I think some of the dynamics for Lilly specifically, we'll have to choose where the right markets are. It does seem like maybe some of the customer habits around wanting to be outside and, in lifestyle centers, more mixed use type centers, that could be, around for a while. So we'll watch that carefully. But yes, I think we'll be opening, we'll build stores again. We don't have anything to announce, today, but certainly at some point we'll get back on it.
Cool. So Erynn, you're at the other end of the spectrum. No stores of your own. Let's just use everybody else's store if we need to. We'll create this online marketplace. What do you think about this interplay between digital and physical?
It's so important. And I was thinking about that when I was listening to Michelle. Obviously for us, our backbone is our technology, and helping customers have a good discovery experience and making sure we have accurate inventory services are all technology investments we're making. The place we really make sure we make investments, though, is actually in our retailer tools. Listening to Michelle, it's clear when we look back over this last year that the people who are coming out as having been successful over this last year are the teams who could move quickly and make decisions and make those human decisions on the nodes of a network. Retail stores are essentially nodes on a network. And so for us at Drizzly, one of the things we've really worked hard to do is make technical investments so that our retailers themselves can serve their customers and make sure that they're able to provide the discovery services that they want to provide, and those inventory services. And now as we look ahead to what the world looks like as we come out of COVID, we're seeing that while our retail partners have experienced big jumps in sales this year, it's largely been because people haven't been going to restaurants and haven't been going out. And so now we're thinking about all right, how do we position ourselves to make sure that our retail partners who have been, just the backbone of our business for the last year and a half, how do we make sure that they're positioned to be successful, even as the marketplace changes again and people return back to restaurants?
Any thoughts? So what? How can they be successful, right? I mean, why would anybody in your network? Why would a Drizzly consumer choose to go to a physical store?
There's going to the physical store, and there's maintaining the relationship with your retailer. I live on an island. There's 11 liquor stores. Everybody has their favorite. And at the end of the day, I'll order the bottle I want and I'll have it delivered, but I know who the retailers are that I really have that relationship with. And for Drizzly, one of the things we look to do is make it as attractive to shop online as it is to shop at a retailer. Our retailer partners are fantastic. It's really fun to go into a liquor store. So how do we make sure that those tools are available so that e-commerce experience is just as fun and just as pleasant as running down to the corner, but do it in a way that saves you that trip?
Got it. Have you observed anything yet about how user preferences may be different when they shop online and they go to a store?
There does seem to be some sensitivity around a minimum purchase. I think that people take into account any additional fees that are associated with the purchase. Somehow, and I've watched people do this myself, just hanging around in the liquor store now on a Friday night or a Saturday night, people will throw an extra bottle in the cart, and they'll do it just because they've been attracted by a label, right? I mean, we've all done that. And there's a little bit more sensitivity when people are seeing that number jump up in a shopping cart, as opposed to just seeing the label slide into their basket.